All right, so tonight Nashville gets on the board over Anaheim. Overtime win. A lot of overtime games in these playoffs. I was nervous in overtime. This is one of those weird things where we heard in the last round about Oilers fans complaining about certain games that they lost that they should have won, and that's, for me, that's the past now. We're in this round. It's brand new, fresh series. That's a game Anaheim should have won. They came back and tied it. They had control of the play for a lot of the overtime, and then, bam. The mobility that Nashville has, and the blue line depth is crazy. PK Subban was on point in overtime. The game winner, I'm torn on whether, and they said Gibson couldn't get across in time. To me, it also looked like Perry either interfered with his ability to make the play or see the play. And I'm not saying Perry did it on purpose. It's just, again, he was the guy who scored in overtime against the Oilers, and now he's at the other end, and everything comes full circle. Last year's playoffs, Nashville managed to knock out Anaheim. This Nashville team is better than last year's. You can argue that this year's Anaheim team is better than last year's too, but there's very little to choose between the two of them. Nashville controlled the first. Anaheim came back and controlled the second. The third, kind of a saw-off, although, that tying goal for Anaheim was a huge lift. And this series, me picking Nashville in 6 is my pick, but I could easily see this going 7. This is going to be a very good series. So yeah, I also noticed the hatred between these two teams is immediate. The hacking and slashing that's going on by Anaheim players on Pekka Rinne is troubling. When you're trying to, the puck's in the air and you just hack the goalie in the chest rather than making a play for the puck. It's that kind of stuff, and it's funny because, I see that and right away I'm like, well, it's the Ducks. And right away I'm thinking of fans of this channel, Ducks fans I've talked to. And I think that's why I hate the Ducks right there. Is that kind of play. Hacking at the goalie's arm while you're skating by. Not trying to play the puck, just trying to hack at the goalie. And this is not unusual for Ducks at all. It's kind of standard fare. But I don't think the Predators are going to be intimidated. The one thing that interested me too tonight was Bowl was in the lineup for the Ducks tonight, and he was throwing his weight around, which is fine, but Arvidsson's already getting under their skin. Victor Arvidsson is showing why I'm a huge fan of his again. He is a shift disturber. Without, it's hard to say exactly where that line is, but to me, he hasn't crossed that line yet. He just manages to knock another team off their game. And I love Arvidsson's game. I do. I think he's gutsy, considering he's a lot smaller than a lot of these guys who are throwing him around. And he just bounces right back up. And he's able to get in their heads a little bit. For Game 2 now on Sunday, Nashville, if they can win, I think the Ducks are already done. I think if the Ducks lose both games at home, this isn't Edmonton. They lost both games at home against Edmonton, and then they won 4 out of 5 to knock Edmonton out. Nashville is not Edmonton. I was reading today, there was an article on, it was either today or yesterday, published by Hockey News, about how Nashville was the 16th rated team in the regular season, and here they are poised to potentially get into a Stanley Cup final. The Predators are the best 16th place team I've ever seen. And again, this comes into that whole parity thing that I've been talking about. This the whole parity narrative that's been going on the whole season. And the Predators are a pretty damn good team. Finishing 16th overall does not show you how good they are, how good they can be. And I think they're starting to show everybody. There is a Kings vibe with these Predators. Absolutely. The goaltender's at the center of it. They're playing a strong game. They're able to roll their whole lineup. Their defense, their top four is fantastic. And having a four-line attack and all six defensemen being assets and no defects in the bunch, and then you've got a fantastic starting goaltender, it's pretty easy to project out that they could do what the Kings did in 2012. And watching what's happened to the Ducks and watching what's happened to the Blues, do you feel bad for Chicago yet? That they get swept in the first round, and myself included, there's been a lot of people swirling around like vultures. Maybe it's not how bad Chicago was. Maybe it's how good Nashville is. Maybe that's what the story is here. And if they come through and they knock out Anaheim, then that should change the narrative with Chicago just a bit. That Nashville is that good. I mean, hey, I got their gold jersey and they didn't lose when I got it. So, right there, my jinx didn't work on Nashville. So that's got to mean something, doesn't it? Anyways, it was a fun game of what I saw. I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm saving that energy for tomorrow when these two go at it. Game 1, Ottawa, Pittsburgh. So we've had the on again, off again, when I remember or when I have time, the predictions thread. So tomorrow, Ottawa's against Pittsburgh. The prediction I want is who wins, and that's worth 1 point. And how can I spice this up a little bit? We'll do by how much for 2 points. And total goals for 3 points. So total goals in tomorrow night's game. And we'll see how that works. So potentially 6 points up for grabs tomorrow. I will post a comment on this video. I will count any predictions under that comment, as usual. And good luck to those who give it a shot. One will notice the subs to 5,000. We're down to 52. Last I checked, it's actually 51. Picked up 2 patrons in the last 24 hours. I got... Oh, it doesn't show me. Yeah, I'll get into those in another video. I'm actually going to do a patron shout-out video over the weekend where I discuss and am grateful for those who are patrons to this channel and that are willing to help out. Part of the reason that I'm willing to stay up late on a Friday night and do this. For me, this is late. For people on the West Coast going, it's Friday night, this isn't late. It's late for me. By my standards, it's late. But yeah, let me know what you think about tomorrow night's game. I am as excited as anybody else. I want this prediction to be as wrong as possible. I want Ottawa to win that series. Go Sens go. The hopes of Canada ride with them. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, and I'll talk to you all again soon.